The eye of the beholder will always see a different shade of green in this field of gold. For what we see is but a selfish perspective, the very thing that makes us not see eye to eye. The scrolls tell us of a time eons ago there lived two worlds connected in the galaxy, so close and yet so far. A bridge made of ether, strongest ancient element on the planet. There lives Earth, a rich land filled with mindless puppets. Then, the depths, a volcanic world, home to a colony that brings balance to the Earth. Light has never existed without darkness, just as it is on the other foot. For years there had been balance. The depths were responsible for bringing darkness to a world of light where it was needed. In the depths held the most powerful element in existence, an emblem so beautiful, shimmering, and yet so unbearably powerful. They call it the Iris. Some say they have descended into its divine wisdom, the images it preserved for centuries, and have never lived to tell the tale, nor have they lived to ascend again. It is the very key that possesses your memories, their memories, and opens up a world of punishment and redemption. The power of this emblem does not come without consequences, nor does it come without reward. For those who are able to harness its power will have an unholy level of knowledge. The world would be your toy, and you would be its master. Everything that ever happened, is happening, or is yet to happen, will become yours to see. They say only one such being can harness and tame its uncontrollable matrix. It has been locked in the sky of the depths, to stay there for an eternity, and to oversee the balance this colony brings to Earth. Somebody one day will hold it, and the depths has only one hope, that the beholder can control themselves. The power it contains is not to be used irresponsibly, for it will shatter the existence of this galaxy as we speak. Guarding the Iris are two brave kings and queens of the depths. The colony's ruler, Tyrant, with his trusty Havoc scythe, and by his side, Lady Fate, with her Omen glass. The two swore to protect this land, control the colony, and bring balance to the bridge that connects them to Earth. However, there are darker matters in the universe which cannot be contained by just the Iris alone. An asylum was made, entirely out of the very ground they walk on, a cursed stronghold called the Encrypt, where all of humanity's biggest nightmares are held. Guarding the gates of the Encrypt is the only one supposedly strong enough to withstand such pain this asylum bleeds. Our main protagonist in this age-old tale, who goes only by one name, Goliath. Word spreads he is the Omen child Lady Fate and Tyrant weren't planning on having, a freak accident after trying to form a united family. This one-man army has withstood many a test of time with the Encrypt, as well as threats to the depths. As for the Onyx colony themselves, with their skeletal mesh, glowing lantern eyes, and collapsing veins able to shapeshift dangling from their ligaments, their allegiance is with Tyrant. This makes it all the harder for Goliath to unlock his true potential. Nightmares stay, darkness leaves, balance is in order. Or so they thought. Planet Earth, abused and ignorant. It's been this way since life began. But this isn't the world of today, young traveler. For this is merely part of one of our vicious cycles eons ago. Technology's materials existed way before your time, and with it, the darkest ages occurred, much like your world today. There too lived ancient ritualists, hibernating in the forests, seeking out a new life away from the deadly curse that plagued Earth. The tribe's leader, Jebediah Dunford, resided on the outskirts of their tribe, hidden further away into the woods, living in a large wooden cabin. With this native tribe's way of life, nature was their core. For every tree that is cut down, 2 more must grow before them. Their own colony had overgrown and passed the line that separates the government and them. This was about to anger the government more than they knew. Their land was in grave danger. The world became tired of their heritage, their invasion of the land, and largely prophesized gossip. This tribe has been trying to convince the world that a larger reckoning is coming, and Earth is cursed to live a life with scripted darkness. They're about to be mowed down. Any resistance meant the people who inhabit the tribe will also die alongside the demolition. Families doomed to share bloodshed. Innocent lives burdened with the cruel fate they were about to bring. Suddenly, a large and strange object crash-landed 5 miles outside their tribe. Everyone runs to the flames. The fog eventually faded to reveal a new crater caused by the collision. This material was ether. The bridge has been growing weaker since its creation. The galaxy is turning a new leaf, and the bridge only had a matter of time before it needed to be restored. The tribe's fate was about to be tested. Swarms of army squadrons infiltrating the tribe. The bang of flash bombs, the screams of army soldiers being ordered to move in, hold their fire and wait for their next command. From the distance reveals a silhouette walking towards the crater. Jebediah is shocked to discover it's none other than the very being that rules over this planet. Abram Valentine. He approaches Jebediah with an impatient smirk on his face. He is told of the ether boulder. He stood still, shocked at this discovery. Alas, he felt the need to take credit for another man's hard work. Abram cackles, becoming impatient. Behind the laughter is the embodiment of an angry beast. Jebediah proudly fronts to protect the boulder and their land. Silence seeps through the air for a brief minute. Abram's smile growing wider and ghastlier. He reaches into his pocket, still laughing uncontrollably. The tribesmen had sensed happiness finally. Their message was heard. Abram finally pulls out his hand from his pocket. A large black and red pistol with a silencer is revealed, as he slowly points towards Jebediah's head. "I'll give your thanks to my rolling grave," whispers Abram. Moments later, a large bang is heard, right between the eyes. Poor Jebediah is shot dead. He slumps to the ground, in his own pool of blood, as it leaks closer to the family watching. Shrieks of innocent people are heard, children crying in fear, adults running for their lives. Things started to become a bloodbath. With tears down his eyes, he commands his crew to retrieve the boulder of ether and destroy the tribe. Abram and his army made retreat back to the main base of operations, a large building of titanium, retina scanners, a giant building composed of 3 thick walls that protrude outwards, large surveillance systems surrounding the exterior and interior, all with armed turrets to attack anything unauthorized on sight. Guarded by 10,000 squadron soldiers, each with different rankings, this was the fortress of everything that ruled over Earth and its people, supposedly to protect them. This building was to be named the Domeplex. Inside this colossal infrastructure held several lab facilities, biochemical quarters, tech stations, and an oracle treasury where all the world's money is protected and all of the many strange inhabitants from centuries of preservation. After much discovery, the science rats had made discoveries about the ether material. They discovered its material is a stronghold guard to the other side. Or for what we know, the depths. The prophecies were true. Another world about to bring a reckoning to Earth. The scientists believe this to be true. They find sightings of an iris-like emblem. They predicted the emblem to be the key for opening gates to other universes. Though they had no proper dimensions to reference the iris, Abram had even bigger plans. Instead of retrieving the iris, they'll create a new one. Several months go by. The boulder has been carved to its core. The material glows and erupts a destructive carnage in the lab. It is revealed They have made a replica emblem. Among the fog revealed a gate opening. The bridge can be seen in the distance, leading to the depths. This discovery gave Abram a sparkle in his eyes. The plan has been set. Surround the depths and destroy everything. When asked what to call the emblem, they decided to go with none other than the Domeplex. They proceed with their plan. Suddenly, the fake emblem opens up the gate to the other side. The depths is now compromised. However, the emblem had other plans that Earth never could have predicted. An unprecedented amount of power cloned the Yhis' divine essence. The Onyx colony below bows before a new king. They've been hypnotized. They believe the Domeplex is their true emblem. They now only have one mission: kill the Protectors. They suddenly turn on Tyrant and Fate, knocking down the castle walls and pinning them down while stealing their souls. A large shriek is heard in the distance. Suddenly, Goliath hears the echo. Shocked by what he heard, he sprinted to the castle. Took down the horde. They lay helpless on their last legs. The Goliath kneels down to them, as they say in their last dying breaths how proud they are of him for growing up so much. The Yhis is now unprotected. The two tell Goliath to grab the emblem and close the gates with it. He was to be the chosen one. Finally, after Fate sings a soft lullaby to her son, Tyrant proudly whispers, "I love you, son." They perish. Goliath, now riddled with anger and rage, runs towards the emblem, grabs it from the sky, lunges straight into the gate. But as he attempts to close it off, suddenly, a flash of white waves through the planets. The gate is shut. The light faded, and left behind nothing but rubble. The depths was no more than a graveyard. No survivors, no hope left. Nobody but one man had survived the blow. That man, our protagonist, Goliath. But not how he used to be. He is now but skull and bones. You couldn't recognize him. This realization gets him to pat down his body. He touches his face. There's a strange engraving in his right eye. He runs to the lake and discovers the Yhis emblem had merged with his body. Ether particles lay surrounding him. Suddenly, 2 slithers of ether move toward him. They lunge onto his back, grow larger than ever before. Their fangs erupt and eyes glow a glaring red. Their spines are their skin. Behold, the ether snakes. They inject him with a large essence of venom, struggling in panic. He somehow stays alive, and yet stronger at the same time. Something tells him those new pets of his knew more than he did. With so many questions, our adventure begins for Goliath to find himself, what happened before the explosion, how he will one day save his own world and restore the depths forever. This is our age-old tale of Yhis.